MOH advised against traditional treatment for hand-mouth-foot disease, and Phase 1 of the Pan-Borneo project eyes completion by year-end. Those are the headlines for tonight. Good evening, everyone. You're being Douglas Elliott, and this is TVS Nightline. We begin with our top story. The search and rescue operation to locate the missing body of a 56-year-old man in Kampong Kangka in Lundu was halted today following no new leads found so far. According to a Fire and Rescue Department Bomba spokesperson, the SAR operation was suspended at 3:30 p.m. following discussions with other agencies and the victim's family. The search operation would resume should new leads appear. Earlier, the victim, identified as Sebarang Bingkok, was reported missing by his family member on May 19. The victim was believed to be attacked by a crocodile behind his house around 2 p.m. the same day, prompting a search and rescue operation along the riverbank. The victim's head was discovered 2 hours later at 5 p.m. by the victim's relative involved in the search operation. The head was later sent to LUNDU Hospital for further action. In similar tragic incident, Biba Harup is still in a disbelief as she witnessed her 7-year-old grandson fall prey to a vicious reptile that launched itself 8 feet tall during the attack. Though it was a traumatizing experience for the grandmother, she resigned to her fate.
Turun dia daik dia nak berdiri daik je main air nyot nak dimbak di kakaknya teh naya mandi di tong tu ada nyot ya nangga kakak berdiri di air teh macam tu duduk nung mana macam terbayi ya atang ni tu madang kau amet dah turun di bas teh ngirim muridnya dua nya madah one atau tu boyak ni atau kami angkat palak cambo nak nang boyak yo nekam nyo nang kami nangga boyak yo boyak yo tinggi atau dia berjuk ngagaan kena adam jauh ada di atas ni dua tu dia yo kami kan yo lah mungkin dah tadinya lah kita reda aja.
According to the victim's sister, Nur Juliana, her brother was attacked by the CROC directly at his head, rendering the victim in a helpless situation.
Nyo bangun pukul 5:30. Nyo ke kami dekat kemes dia nak minta air yang kami au kakaknya teh madah nyo nak mati. Kumadah nyo dalam seminggu tu nyo lain padah yang lain. Cambang ubah kelakar sikit lah madah. Mati aku tu nek. Tanya madah. Kami si tahu nyo badak, kami si tahu nyo tiba-tiba nak ninggai kami macam tu ah. Mu kami tahu si kami nak nyuruh nyo nak mandi di bah yo aja.
On Saturday, search and rescue SAR efforts were activated in search for the victim, Adami Mokhtar, in Kampong Nyabu, Telaga Air. As of 4:30 p.m. press time, the second day of the operation has yet to find any clue of the victim's whereabouts.
The Ministry of Health, MOH, advised the people against the idea of using traditional methods to treat the hand, mouth and foot disease, or HMFD, with the use of home remedies such as turmeric and neem leaves. Instead, parents or guardians are asked to seek immediate medical attention if they suffer from any symptoms of the disease while keeping themselves hydrated.
Pastikan minum air, pastikan anak-anak tu minum air yang kita bagi dia boleh minum sikit-sikit, tengok air yang masuk tu. Dan katalah tak boleh minum langsung dan sebagainya, memang perlu diberikan secara intravenous. Maknanya kena pergi ke hospital. Sebab kita tak nak anak jadi lemah. Jadi lemah je sebab tu saja. Dan kebanyakannya ini kena pada anak-anak yang kanak-kanak yang bawah pada 10 tahun. Sebab tu kita dapat lihat kes banyak di Taska, Tadika.
Currently, there are no specific medicines or treatments to treat HFMD. Even so, parents and guardians should not be complacent when it comes to containing the disease. HFMD is a disease that can easily be transmitted among toddlers as the infection is caused by a virus from the enterovirus group, which spreads through direct contact via saliva, nasal fluid, blisters, and feces. It can also spread via surfaces that are contaminated with the virus. Several common symptoms of HFMD are fever, rashes on the feet, hands, or ulcers developing around the mouth proximity, which includes the tongue.
Commuters plying the Kuching-Serian route can expect smooth traffic tomorrow as the 10th-mile flyover in Kota Padawan officially opens today. Additionally, the 7th-mile flyover will be partially open to road users before the upcoming Gawai celebration. Part of the second work package of the 786-kilometer Pan-Borneo Highway mega project, Phase 1 of the project eyes completion by the end of the year.
Geometri jalan ini ianya akan memberi kemudahan kepada lalu lintas, memudahkan perjalanan dan diharapkan akan dapat mempercepatkan perjalanan di kalangan penduduk di kawasan sepanjang Kuching-Serian ini, termasuklah Padawan dan sebagainya.
Fadilah said the project is not spared from the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, with issues such as raw materials and labor shortages and increasing prices of construction materials delaying the progress of the project.
And the remaining packages hopefully will be completed end of this year. Hopefully, from all the remaining packages, cuma kita anticipate there could be 1 or 2 packages, part of packages ada yang delay sikit behind time because of cabaran-cabaran yang kita katakan tadi.
He added currently there are 4 work packages that are now complete, namely Teluk Melano, Sematan, Nyabau, Serian Balai Ringin, and Julau. Commenced in 2016, the 323 million ringgit project includes the construction of the 4th mile, 6th mile, and 7th mile flyover projects.
The proposal to set up Sarawak's Sovereign Wealth Fund will be tabled in the State Legislative Assembly or DUN sitting in November, alongside a new undisclosed bill. And this was announced by the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, who said that the Sovereign Wealth Fund will be set up once study is completed.
Selepas tu ada lagi dalam bola saya, bulan 11 lah. Ada undang-undang baru lagi. Nak saya bola untuk masa depan anak-anak kita di Sarawak tu ialah dana, saya kata dana berdaulat, sovereign fund. Maka ini akan kita laksanakan dan ia akan memberikan saving untuk keadaan kita, ekonomi kita masa depan. Tapi apa yang perlu kita naikkanlah ilmu anak-anak kita dalam ekonomi yang bertukar, ekonomi yang baru tu. Sebab ya kita sebut sebagai new economy. Dan alhamdulillah pimpinan PBB yang mempunyai idea yang baru.
He said this at the N7 Semariang Hari Raya Aidilfitri gathering in Kuching on Saturday. He is confident that the establishment of the Sovereign Wealth Fund will safeguard the younger generation in the state against the ever-changing economic situation and at the same time will bring in revenue to Sarawak in the future. Deputy Premier Dato' Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian retained his post uncontested as Sarawak United People's Party or SUPP President. The Triennial Delegates Conference or TDC also saw 4 important posts uncontested, where Dato' Sri Richard Riot and Dato' Sri Lee Kim Shin remain as the party's Deputy President, while Dato' Sebastian Ting remain as the Secretary General and Dato' Francis Harden as the party's Treasurer.
Resolution, the party has stated its interest in few aspects, focusing on the well-being of fellow Sarawakians.
The party resolution 1 is to urge the Sarawak government to set up a cabinet committee to look into the racial imbalance in the Sarawak and federal civil service, to draw out implementation strategies and guidelines in addressing the imbalance issues. We also going to set up a Sahati Education Foundation to help tuitions, primary school, to help the secondary school students and also the university students, because as you all know, SCPP has been running national university fellowships for 18 years.
Additionally, SUPP has set up a new education fund named after Barbara Mendubay, who was one of the founding members of SUPP and the first president of Sarakup Indu Dayak Sarawak, or SIDS. A total of 100,000 ringgit has been raised for the fund.
Coming right after the break, Cabinet to meet on Monday to discuss high cost of living and food supply issues, monkeypox unlikely to cause pandemic, and legendary K-pop group Girls' Generation returns to center stage. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned.
Masalah pendengaran dalam kalangan kanak-kanak. Ada
You're watching TVS Nightline. The Cabinet will meet tomorrow, May 23rd, to discuss the rising cost of living and food supply issues. Prime Minister Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said both the Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry and Agriculture and Food Industries Ministry would brief the Cabinet on these issues, including short and long-term plans to overcome the problems.
Jadi besok hari Isnin saya panggil mesyuarat Kabinet untuk melihat khusus dari segi bagaimana kita nak mengimbangi kenaikan harga barang yang mendadak ini, dan saya minta Kementerian Kabinet HMFD untuk membentangkan, begitu juga dengan makanan, suplai makan termasuk ayam. Kementerian Pertanian perlu bentangkan.
He said the increase in cost of living is a global phenomenon due to the Russia-Ukraine conflict and COVID-19 pandemic, among others, which have affected food production and supply. In addition, Ismail Sabri said apart from the approved permit or AP for food imports, the government is also studying the possibility of abolishing other types of permits to ease the pressure arising from shortages of other goods. On Wednesday, Ismail Sabri said the government had decided to abolish the AP for food imports with immediate effect. Of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, Dato Sri Alexander Nantalinggi said the abolition of the approved permits or AP for food products is in line with the government's effort to ensure continuity in supplies. The move is also expected to create access and supplies in the market that ultimately would benefit consumers.
While optimistic, Nanta said it would take some time for the AP abolition to have a positive impact on consumers, as it depended on several factors such as the procurement process, halal certification, and customs inspection. He welcomed the cabinet meeting, which has been scheduled to start earlier tomorrow, adding that the government is determined in resolving the issue over daily necessities, especially chicken. He said the intervention should take the cross-ministry and whole-of-government approach to ensure that efforts to solve the problem are not implemented in silos and with no continuity.
Bukit Saban State Assemblyman Dato Amar Douglas Uga Umbas has set two main focus development areas for his constituency, namely income-generating economic activities in modern agriculture and food and handicraft production, as well as in education. Now with the focus, Uga hopes that the next generation will be highly educated and is able to master new technologies. Speaking at the Hari Raya gathering in Kampung Spau, Betong on Saturday, Uga, who is also the state's deputy premier, said the younger generation will be the ones who will chart and strategize more development for the state. Through this, he said a team will be formed to help students excel in their studies. Touching on the economic activities, Uga said it would prioritize on quantity and quality of the local farmers and entrepreneurs. He said discussions will be held in July to determine the best way to increase or improve the farmers' yield production to help them to penetrate into the global market. Additionally, he said the state government is building an airport in Babuling to assist the farmers and entrepreneurs to fly their products straight from farm or factories to the markets. During the same event, Uga told Dayak non-governmental organizations or NGO to be in the know of what is being planned under the Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy or PCDS 2030. Once the strategy is understood holistically, the Dayak community can take part in implementing the strategies. Participation is crucial, said the second Minister for Finance and New Economy, because if the Dayak community does not play its part, the community itself will be left out of many development programs, which will result in a lesser economic opportunities for the Dayak. Thereby, if the people themselves become part of an integral effort in championing the state's economy, Sarawakans will be more prosperous. Uga also suggested to pool assets and resources and while collaborating with those with high qualifications from the community, such as PhD holders. PCDS 2030 strategies are based on research data, innovations and technologies to usher Sarawak in becoming a high-income region by 2030. Thank you for staying with us. Monkeypox is a rare viral infection similar to that of human smallpox, although milder. It was first recorded in 1970s and it mostly occurs in West and Central Africa. Now, as of Saturday, 28 suspected cases out of 92 confirmed cases were detected in several countries not endemic to the virus, such as the United States and Britain. However, one health expert thinks that monkeypox won't likely cause another pandemic.
Monkeypox is a virus for which we have medical countermeasures, for which we've dealt with outbreaks in the past. It's not a novel pathogen, and it doesn't spread efficiently like SARS-CoV-2. So there is a danger of trying to take everything that we knew about COVID-19 and then apply it to monkeypox. You can't do that. These are levels. I do not think monkeypox has any ability to cause a pandemic because it is an inefficient transmitter, because it is not contagious during the incubation period, because we have the smallpox vaccine that is a tried and true countermeasure to stop these outbreaks.
Meanwhile, Canada's Chief Public Health Officer, Dr. Theresa Tam, said that it was unusual for the world to see this many cases of monkeypox outside of Africa after more than 100 cases were confirmed or suspected in Europe.
I think local authorities are still doing their case contact tracing, so we don't really know the extent to which the spread has occurred in Canada, so that's under active investigation. We do know that, as Dr. New has said in French, that the virus is generally, as we know it to this point, is generally spread through close contact. And so that could include household contacts, could include other close contacts. And so far, we do know that not many of these individuals are connected to travel to Africa, where the disease is normally seen. So this is unusual. It's unusual for the world to see this many cases reported in different countries outside of Africa.
Germany, meanwhile, recorded its first case of monkeypox on Friday, May 20th. Symptoms include fever, headaches, and skin rashes, starting on the face and spreading to the rest of the body. People usually recover within 2 to 4 weeks without needing to be hospitalized, but the disease is occasionally deadly. It is spread by close contact, so it can be relatively easily contained through such measures as self-isolation and hygiene. The World Health Organization, WHO, says it expects to identify more cases of monkeypox as it expands surveillance in countries where the disease is not typically found.
We wrap Nightline tonight with news from the K-pop industry that brought excitement and captured the world audiences. Soyeonshide, or Girls' Generation, will be making a long-awaited comeback as a full group after nearly 5 years of members diving into solo activities both domestically and internationally. This comeback will also mark the girl group's 15th anniversary.
Additionally, Girls' Generation will be releasing a full album to coincide their highly anticipated return. In K-pop, comebacks usually feature a single or a mini-album. Such an instance was showcased when the group debuted a subgroup known as OGG in 2018 with their song Lil Touch, featuring members who are still signed with SM Entertainment, namely Taeyeon, Hyoyeon, Sunny, Yuna, and Yuri. The last time the band had a full group activity was in 2017 with their 9th studio album, Holiday Night, where members Tiffany, Sooyoung, and Sohyun were still signed under the same agency. For their upcoming comeback, many have questioned to how arrangements were made with the 3 aforementioned members, as SM Entertainment is widely known for their strict contracts. Meanwhile, in recent times, the group's leader and main vocalist, Taeyeon, released her 3rd studio album titled INVU. While their main dancer, Hyoyeon, released a mini-album titled Deep. Both releases were well received domestically and internationally. INVU debuted at number 1 on worldwide iTunes album chart and the European iTunes album chart, making Taeyeon's first album to top the charts simultaneously while reaching number 1 on iTunes in 21 different countries, including Malaysia, Canada, Japan, and Taiwan. Hyoyeon's Deep debuted at number 7 on the worldwide iTunes album chart, while hitting number 1 in 11 countries, including Chile, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Vietnam.
Manik, or ceramic beads, is synonymous with Sarawakian culture and heritage. And with the upcoming Gawai Dayak festive celebration less than 2 weeks away, the demand for ceramic beads ornaments has increased. Join Wan, Alif and Alexan on Sejahtera Asia at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow, as they will be talking to guest Jocelyn Jaidi, a local ceramic beads craftswoman and entrepreneur, only on TVS channel 122 and My Free View. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally just a click away by heading on to our website at TVSTVMY or follow us on our social media. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. Once again, you're with me, Douglas Elliott. Thank you for watching.
Episod kali